got the word that the war was over. We were about 200 feet above a farmhouse. The German was down there. It was a German officer. He's wearing a pistol. He looked at me and he looked at my staff sergeant stripes. No, officer. You buddy. And I relieved him of his gun and searched him over, and I still got the gun. It's there in my drawer. So I went in the Army in 1943, February, and I was shipped to Southern California to Camp Hahn, which turned out to be an anti-aircraft battalion. We fought with half-tracks, which are basically a steel large truck with front-wheel drive and a track in the back, much like a tank. They found that the anti-aircraft guns that we were using were wonderful machines to shoot at the enemy infantry. Maybe the German infantry was dug in their foxholes in a wooded area, and we were going to try to attack that with the infantry who had to go across open ground, which is a quick way to die. So they'd pull our half-tracks up, and at the last minute we'd back up so we were visible, and we'd just cover the terrain with machine gun fire and 37 millimeter, just back and forth as fast as we could get. Tickled me to death to go up and get a turn at yanking that lanyard and firing off a 105 millimeter howitzer. We landed probably 25, 30 days after D-Day. Took off down the peninsula from the beach, and you could see the results. Dead Germans, dead Americans. Blown up tanks, trucks, villages demolished. It was not pretty. We finally got to eastern France, and things slowed down. Then Lieutenant O'Neill came around one day and said, "Be ready to move in the morning. We've been attached to the 26th Infantry Division. It's better known as the Yankee Division out of New England." We were subjected to counter-battery fire from the German 88s, and we learned to live in a hole in the ground. He says, "Hi there, little fella. What are you doing here? Come, share my foxhole. Let me hold you near. It's bitter cold out there. No place for you, my friend. You wouldn't survive the night. My God, will this war ever end? I don't know your name. I'll just call you pal. Me, I'm an American soldier by the name of Sal. Come the crack of dawn, pal, I must say goodbye. Gee, I love you, you little mutt. Who said soldiers don't cry? I'll pray for your survival, my friend, and may you never need to roam. Bless you, my little friend, and may God see you safely home." We heard from headquarters that it was running 15 to 20 below zero. And so you wore everything that you had. Of course, your boots, before the day is over, your boots would get wet. And so at night, to dry them off, and the socks that were under them, you put your boots and your socks down inside of your sleeping bag and try to dry them, and put on a dry pair of socks. And it worked to a degree. We were going up a dirt road, long climbing curve, and I saw up on the hill there was a little group of trees, and I saw 3 GIs under there. It looks like they were laying down and probably firing at Germans. I thought, well, if Germans are that close, I want to know about it. So I stopped the tracks and up we went. One of them was a medic with the Red Cross on the front and back of his helmet and so on. They were all dead, including the medic. I made the mistake of thinking maybe the guy's just wounded and maybe he could help me with the other two, and I took him by the shoulder and turned him over. And it was bad. He had taken a direct hit, probably by a 20 millimeter, right square in the face. So from his ears forward, there was nothing, absolutely nothing, pulp. And the other two were just plain dead. So I took a rifle and stuck it there and put a helmet up there so somebody else would see them and pick up the bodies. But I see this man way up there standing by the side of the road with his rifle. What the? Well, first when I got up to where he was, it was a dead German soldier with a rifle in his hand, standing at attention, frozen stiffer than a board. That's sick humor, but that's the way it was. We were nearing the border of Czechoslovakia. All of a sudden, here's down in the ditch, there's a row of dead Germans, all in white striped, white and black uniforms. First we see 4, and then 6, 2, pretty soon you see a group of 10, and they're all face down, and they're all dead. And the closer we got to where we were going, the more we saw. And we got up to the gate of what had been the prisoner, or whatever they want to call it, the camp. The ground was covered, literally covered, with striped bodies. They'd just been starved to death. And when the Germans left, these people tore down the gates and came to meet us and wanting food. And we actually gave them everything we had on our track until we got resupplied. We got a little hungry ourselves, but it was bad. You can't, they were walking skeletons. I mean, when I mean that, just, you go in the morning to get the discharge. Okay, it's a huge hall. There must have been 300, 400 GIs in there. And I'm sitting back in the corner, and in comes this major, goes up to the podium. I turned the mic on, Staff Sergeant Charles R. Allen, front and center. What? So I went up, gave him the hand salute, said, reporting as ordered, sir. He said, Sergeant, here's your Bronze Star. Okay, thank you, sir. Well, I've already had one, so I got 2 of them downstairs. And just for being a good soldier, for being a good leader, for shooting down airplanes, for killing people. Not proud, but you had to. You had to. War is not humane. In war, there are fatalities. And the fatalities include women and children. And that'll break you up. We'd go into a village and you could see people in the street, children in the street. But that's war.